Hey everyone, Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, three-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils, and you're listening to the Uncle Pucker's New Jersey Devils podcast. Let's go Devils!
Welcome to the Uncle Pucker New Jersey Devil podcast. I'm Chris with Tony Zamboni and Tim. Bobby, Pennsylvania will be joining us shortly. We got a fun show today. We got
I want a fun nickname. What the fuck?
Well, you're just Tim.
Titty Tim.
Titty Tim. So
We'll
Tony
workshop
Zamboni.
that a little bit.
I'm just Chris. But we got a good show tonight.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. Devils are about to take on the Boston Bruins in about an hour and 20. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Their magic number is now 1. So a win, a regulation tie, or any combination of such gets the Devils securely into their playoff spot tonight. Can they finally do 4 in a row? We're getting close. I think it's a possibility. We got to talk Dougie Hamilton, looking like he's back on the ice, should be joining the Devils back in that lineup shortly. And the fat lady is about close to singing her little lungs out on Broadway, which is fantastic that we are moving on to the playoffs and the Rangers are home crying in their vaginas because they are realizing that they have nothing but old players with bullshit contracts that they're not going to be able to move. And they just invited a cancer into their locker room until the year 2030, which is awesome. So talk a little bit about that. But before we start, a hello to everybody who's up on the stream and hanging out with us today. Thanks, guys. And what's up, boys?
What's up?
Everybody doing good?
Sure. It's a little chilly out. What the hell?
Yeah. Other than the weather, this is a good week so far to be Devil fans. This has been a solid week of some good news, but I want to talk to you guys about a few things. What do you guys want to start with? You want to start with tonight's game? You want to start with Dougie Hamilton? You want to start with Arseny Gricic?
Well, do you want to, like I said, I did a little math because I'm a fucking nerd. And we could start with Dougie if you want.
Let's do it.
All right. So what I was looking at, and I've been talking about this a little bit, is recreating the guys that we lost in the aggregate, right? So, you obviously can't replace Jack's production 1 for 1. You can't replace Dougie's production 1 for 1. But with everybody kind of chipping in and chipping in a little bit more than they have, you can kind of replicate the production that we're getting. And so what I looked at is the kind of big 4 forwards, Jack, Nico, Brad, and Timo, up until March 2nd, which is when Jack got hurt. So I looked at their points per game and their goals per game. And then how those 3, Nico, Brad, and Jack have been doing, Nico, Brad, and Timo have been doing after March 2nd. Okay. So before March 2nd, the 4 of them combined average, or the 4 of them total per game was 3.7 points per game. So that's them total. So Jack was 1.1, Nico 0.8, Brat 1.1, Timo 0.6. So 3.7 total.
3.7 collective with Jack in there.
Yes, correct.
Got it.
And goals wise, Jack and Nico were at about 0.4 goals per game. Brad and Timo were about 0.3 goals per game. So total, they were about 1.4 goals per game. Give or take. That's their average. That's how many games they played each, averaged out across the 4. After March 2nd, Nico, Brad, and Timo are now averaging 3.1 points per game. So they've lost about 0.6 points per game by losing Jack, because Nico's picked up his points per game by about 0.4. Brad's picked it up by about 0.2. Timo's been about the same. Where it really gets interesting is the goals per game. Nico is now at 0.6 goals per game. Brad's at 0.3 goals per game. Timo's at about 0.5 goals per game. So Timo's at a 40 goal pace. Nico's at like a 55 goal pace, and Brad's at like a 30 goal pace. So before Jack got hurt, all 4 of them were averaging about 1.4 goals per game. After Jack got hurt, the 3 of them are averaging 1.4 goals per game. So for now, as it stands, they've actually recreated him in the aggregate. I even looked at Dougie and Luke as well. So Dougie was averaging about 0.6 points per game. Luke was averaging about 0.5 points per game. So that's 1.1 points per game between the 2. After Dougie got hurt, he's averaging 0 points per game. Dougie, because he's hurt.
He sucks.
Yeah, he stinks, man. But Luke is averaging 1.1 points per game.
So Luke just said, "Fuck you, Jobu. I do it myself."
I do it myself. So between Nico, Bratt, and Timo and Luke, they've more or less replicated the offense lost by Jack and Dougie.
Tim, my headphone was out. Can you repeat that information, please?
as of
take another hit, you fucking hippie.
As of now, I mean, that's great. And we've talked about it a bunch. I think Devil fans in general talk about it a lot, that we do expect quite a bit of guys to kind of up their game come the next couple of weeks once playoffs kick around. But I'll tell you, I love that. I love that these guys are stepping up when they have to step up. And you have numbers. Numbers don't lie. They are doing what's needed and then some. But I'm watching the Ranger Tampa Bay game last night, and I texted you guys this, and I'm watching Kucherov just dangling behind the net, just making open ice for himself whenever the heck he wants, and just skating like a freak out there. And I'm just like, man, we had a guy like that. And yeah. I just got to missing, not that I think that this team can't go far without Jack. I'm just missing all of the awesome playoff moments that we're not going to have this year because he's not in the lineup. Because I mean, the kid has been, his career's been great so far, but he has not had that defining playoff or anything like that. And I thought this year could have been it. So that's the kind of thing that I'm bummed about. But at the same time, next guy up, I'm happy with what the team has been doing.
Right. And look, that wasn't to say like we're fine without him.
Oh no, I know.
We need him. I'm just saying these guys have stepped up where we need them to step up. Imagine that level of them stepping up. And you get to plug Jack into that line.
How long were you there?
Pretty amazing.
I was just about to text you. Just like, fuck these guys. They're leaving me in the back room.
I didn't see it.
Put them in the fucking bathroom.
Usually I hear when somebody
somebody
comes on. I didn't hear anything. And I looked out and I said, oh, Bobby's been sitting there. Sorry, dude.
Just a minute. Hey, guys. Chris, that was a great point, though, man. What you just mentioned, I got to say, with thinking about the moments we are going to miss from Jack Hughes, because there's a whole bunch. I mean, what an exciting player. But yeah, I think about that, but I never really think about that. When you say it, it really makes you think. Like,
yeah, I kind of got sad last night. I was just like, man, this sucks. Because I do
imagine being Jack.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna get some, like, if the Devils actually play well in the playoffs, we're gonna get some real interesting Jack in the press box looks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm holding out hope.
Can you imagine?
He's ready to go for the finals.
Like, imagine if you win the cup. Chris predicted that you come back.
Then you never don't win another cup for Jack.
That would be rough.
He still gets a ring.
That would be rough, though.
But
what
I'm gonna hate is all the troglodytes are gonna come out and be like, "See, we could win without him. We need to trade Jack Hughes." I've been following hockey since '64.
People say that sometimes. I can't believe it.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah. Speaking of go ahead.
The demographic of who says that, it's a flat circle with a certain other type of demographic.
I want to read you guys something.
Pretty good, man.
Hey, Bob.
I believe the magic number's 1, right? So yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to getting off this, watching that game.
Were you here for my little math lesson?
I missed the math lesson. I just came right in. You guys crying about Jack.
All right.
Chris,
since 1942, this is a tweet by the Maven by Stan Fischler. Since 1942, I have followed the New York Rangers as vice president of the Rangers fan club in 1951 through 1954, worked for the club in 54 and 55, and covered them ever since. No question, this outfit is the most disappointing, most anti-fan, and horrific disaster of a New York hockey franchise in my memory. Stan Fischler, bringing the heat.
It's wonderful. It's only bad for one small segment of fans. It's great for the rest of us.
Yeah, and I think other than Ranger fans, nobody else cares about them. Nobody.
We all remember high school. We all remember high school back in those 90s. We're covered at Ranger fans in Jersey. It was fucking awful.
There still are covered in Ranger fans in Jersey. Are you kidding me? They're everywhere. But before we go any further, I want to get this out of the way. Do a little shout out to our Hockey Podcast Network sponsors, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. And this NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on its edge. No one knows where it's going, but that just means there's time for your favorite team to figure things out and games left for you to get in on the action at DraftKings. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up, because new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8 HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, visit dkng.co/audio. That's DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Okay, we're back. What was that? 10, go 11. All right. So we're playing the last place Bruins tonight, boys. The last place Boston Bruins. How weird is that to say? I mean, we've been predicting their demise for years, but this year it actually happened. And so, like, to me, I kind of feel like this 4 in a row thing's kind of automatic right now. Like, I just,
Don't say it.
I'm
Don't
saying
say
it.
I'm with them. I'm with you. I'm going
Thank
with
you,
it.
Bobby.
Balls out.
We should
Automatic.
put them both in the bathroom.
Mm-mm.
I am so
No.
scarred from this year. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always in the back of my mind until they do it, and until that final buzzer. I think they're going to win. They should. They're supposed to, but
It's a clinching night. It's a clinching night. They're
It's a
going
clinching
in,
night,
they're
and
winning
it's
4 in a row. Everything's changing. Everything's going the right direction.
tonight's at home, right? Or is it in Boston? I know we have one road game left in Boston. I'm not
It
sure
is
if
at
that's
home.
tonight or
It is
tonight's at home.
It's home. Yeah.
Tonight's at home.
So
Yeah.
clinch this baby at home.
Yeah.
Definitely go out in Hoboken, pick up some girls.
That's
have
right. Or
time.
just win the hockey game, really. I don't,
Yeah.
you can go out to Hoboken.
I'm not
later.
going to Hoboken.
I'm
I'm
not
not either.
No thanks.
I mean, we're
Tony's
I'm definitely
certainly
not going to
not going.
Hoboken. Takes me 17 hours.
So Mike's got a 5-2 Devil win. That's what he's putting up there.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, 5-2 sounds good. I think I might stick with rough on this one.
Let's go 5-1.
5-1.
Oh,
All right.
5-1, I'm saying.
4-1.
4-1. Timmy,
17-0 mercy rule in the second.
I love that. That would be fantastic.
like RBI baseball. They're just going to give up.
Nice.
So I mean, so let's talk a little bit about the Arseny Gritsik. If I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize, but I think I'm saying it right. Gritsik.
Gritsuk.
So he's 24 years old. His KHL career his year's done. He wrote a big tweet out there or whatever, post saying goodbye to his team. What was he play for? St. Pete or something?
Yeah, St. Petersburg.
So this year he had 17 goals and 44 points in 49 games, and they did make the playoffs. And in the 6 games this year, he had a goal and 5 assists. Now, here's the thing with his entry-level contract that I read. Because of his age, he can't sign a normal 3-year ELC like Luke did and stuff like that. And he can only sign a 1-year.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was to come here and sign, that would be the year. And you'd have to re-up him in the summer.
Correct.
Or he's a UFA.
No.
He's not a UFA. He's restricted?
He'd be a restricted RFA.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So thank you.
And
so
from what I understand, he wouldn't be offer sheet eligible.
Okay. That was one of my next questions, because that's what I was worried about.
I don't know. Those rules are a little confusing, but I'm pretty certain he wouldn't be offer sheet eligible.
Because if you can sign him for
the clubs a little bit more with those international players, right?
Well,
it's just it's not like Gusev, where Gusev was older, so he became a UFA after his deal. Like, we still will have some team control. I don't see any risk in bringing him over besides having the Russian mafia after you. Like, I don't. I don't see
I've heard a
any.
few different things. So I heard he might not come to the team. I heard it like something about his contract to the end of May.
Right.
I've
So
heard I've
all
heard
the
mixed different things about it.
for whatever reason, at one point, I think I'm not sure if it was just SKA or all of the KHL. All of their contracts were extended in like the middle of the year until the end of May.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, so he's still under contract technically, but their season's over. So, and it just happened right before this afternoon, where Demidov, who is
Mm-hmm.
the Montreal's big prospect, played for the same team, SKA. He worked it out with Montreal, and he's coming over to join Montreal. And Jesus Christ, he's a good player. But with Gritsuk, yeah, like all the talk before was, he'll make his decision in June. But putting out that Instagram post sounds like he made his decision. He could sign with another team in Russia, maybe. Like that's the only kind of leverage he has. But he's stated pretty clearly that he wants to come to North America and play here. But he's also said he only wants to play for the Devils. So
that's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's just that the only reservations I have is the KHL. They play on the bigger European ice, and getting a young kid coming over, doesn't know anybody. We don't have any Russians on the team. I don't think we don't have any Russians on the
Sergey,
team.
I guess he has.
Yeah, Breland, I guess, would be the best kind of little buddy for him.
What's
of
Palat?
sorts. Plus Czech.
Czech.
He's Czech. Okay.
Or Slovakian. Yeah.
They're the same
country.
now.
They're the same country when we
He's Yugoslavian.
Bratislava.
All right, so we have no Russians.
I go buy my own hotel now.
Team that had the first ever Russian, and now we have none.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That works.
So anyway, so it's the team. The Devils can't just offer Ska and say we want to buy the rest of his contract. That violates the CBA. So what needs to happen is Gritsuk's agent and Gritsuk needs to come to an agreement with SKA for them to buy out his contract. So I think that's what has happened before. I think that's what Michkov did, and that's why he was able to come over with the Flyers. However, there's nothing to say that Josh Harris can't, have a bag of cash show up at like a church in the middle of the night in St. Petersburg that happened to have the amount of money in it that was necessary. Like there are probably shady ways around that.
So
maybe Breland can pay for it or something. I don't know.
From what you guys have heard, then what do you think? Do you think this kid's coming over, and do you think he'll be with us for the home stretch or in the playoffs, or is this just probably not going to happen because it's the Devils?
I'd like to see him come over. I want him to come over. So yeah, fuck it. I'll say yes. I think he comes over within the week.
Okay.
It's 50-50 because I don't trust the KHL. There's
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
as long as he doesn't bring McLeod with him.
No, God. I think McLeod's I think he got cut from his team. He was in
Did he really?
He was in Kazakhstan or something like that.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, I think it'd be great. And thinking about it, he's a pass first guy, I think. So I think he the where I would see him slot in if he were to come over would be on the wing with Mercer and Meyer. I think that would be just incredible because he's a good play driving guy. So is Meyer. Mercer's more of a passenger, but he could be that guy to set up Meyer a lot. But the issue is, and we've talked about this, is the amount of guys that we have under contract for next year, plus Luke needing an extension, plus Glass probably getting an extension. We are actually pretty tight against the cap for next season. Not to get into next season already because we're still in this one, but something would need.
This isn't a Ranger podcast.
Well, we're not getting rid of half the team like they should.
What they won't.
Yeah,
but realistically, what's his general salary level going to be?
I can't see.
Well, his ELC would be about $1 million
and a half, 2 million tops.
2 million,
I would think.
3 million. Yeah, I don't think it could be any more than that. Maybe like a 2-3 year, $2.5 million deal, something like that.
I mean, unless he goes out and wins the Conn Smythe for us, in which case, pay the man his money. So
Pay that man his
Pay
money.
the man his money.
you guys want to do some predictions?
Sure.
All right. So Tony, this is your first time doing predictions, right?
Well,
So
I think we've done them for a couple of years. You changed them up.
no, just this year. I mean, like, so,
Okay, yeah, I think
now
so.
these are Timmy's predictions. You have a couple of things that came off the board of your last ones. You said that New Jersey would beat Ottawa and that Timo Meyer would have a goal and that Bratt would have 2 assists. We lost the game, so you lost that. You said that Cody Glass will have 3 points against Ottawa, Vancouver, and Chicago. He only had 1 point. And you did get that the Devils would score 5 or more against Chicago. You did get that one correct. So that's Timmy's predictions right now. And let's see, Bobby's accountability session here. So, Bobby, you said all red here, buddy. Not good.
Wolf.
You said that on March 22nd, the Stars would shut out the Flyers. Dallas
Well,
won.
screw them
but it
for
was
not doing that. That's their
3-2.
fault.
You said that Bratt would have a goal and an assist against Ottawa. He did get the assist, but not the goal.
It's half
And
a
you
point.
said
That's half a point.
that's not a point at all. But you said the
Half-
Devils will have a shorthanded goal against either Ottawa, Vancouver, or Chicago. If you would have thrown the Rangers up in there, you would have gotten it.
I don't think it was in the
So,
week.
You went 0 for 3.
I couldn't.
Yeah, but you
That's
put
right.
those teams there. So, and then mine, I didn't do much better. I said that Nolan Foote would score against Ottawa. He did not. I said that Markey would shut out the Blackhawks. We did win 5-3, but he didn't shut them out. And I said that the Devils would beat the Winnipeg Jets in overtime. So all of those I got wrong. I don't think I have any green in mine at all. I have none right yet. So,
Right.
Tony, we will definitely have yours all set for next week. So we'll start with you, Tone, Tim, Bob, me. So, Tony, your first prediction of the week. And Tone, just so you know, it doesn't have to be this week. You can make a prediction about anything, show or hockey related, right up until the cup being awarded. So you can predict shit for playoffs. You can predict anything you want about any team.
Okay, so I can, because I just chose for tonight, so for the game. So okay.
You want us to come back to you? You want to?
Yeah, come back to me at the end.
All right, so we'll go Bob. We'll go me, Bobby, Timmy, Tony. Okay. So my first prediction is that before the season ends, within the next 5 games, Nico Hischier will have a hat trick within the next 5 games. That's
third
my
hat trick
prediction.
in 1 year.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Bobby, your first prediction, sir.
I'm actually keeping it all tight in this time. I usually go pretty far out, but starting with tonight's game, Sir Luke will give us at least 2 points.
2 points against Boston tonight.
Yes.
Okay. And that is tonight's game. Okay, so Timmy,
How many games the Devils have left? They have 5 or
5.
6?
5 left. They
All right,
have,
so Luke will have 5 points in the last 5 games.
Now it doesn't have to be a point a game. You're just saying 5 points at the end of the season. If he gets 5 assists tonight, you win.
Yes,
that's what you mean.
From here until the end of the season, 5 points.
5 points, next 5 games. Okay. Tony, your first prediction, sir.
Nico's going to have 7 points actually in the last 5 games.
Nico, 7 points, next 5 games. Okay. My second prediction goes to our Grits conversation we were just having. He will join the team. He will play at least 2, maybe even 3 regular season games before the playoffs. But my prediction is that he will join the team before the playoffs and he will collect at least 2 points.
Oh, look at this. He's not actually going to play this year, it's saying now. I'm always talking.
Already down. Recorded.
That's funny. Cross it off the list, Chris.
Well, I mean, I usually do lose them pretty quick. So
that is pretty funny.
Bobby, prediction number 2, sir.
We will keep Boston to 25 shots or less tonight.
I like it.
Okay. Tim, your second prediction, sir.
Daniel Sprong scores his first goal tonight.
You suck my asshole.
Go with goal and assist, buddy.
Do
The
not.
third one that I have
He's
written.
like, I do not.
Sprong
do not.
will score tonight.
Just clarify for the audio
God
listener.
damn it.
Now you knows what goes on after the show.
I might as well just put your name next to that prediction, considering it was mine that you just sniped from me. God damn it. Tony,
Oh, the
your
old White
second
Lotus.
prediction.
We will have one more shutout in the last 5 games.
Ah, damn it. See, my prediction just got sniped too.
It's your turn, Bobby. Get somebody,
No, it's
damn it.
mine.
That's
Oh, never
Chris.
mind.
Mine last and final prediction for Chris, which was Daniel Sprong would score his first goal tonight, but that is no longer on the board. So I'm going to up it. Daniel Sprong will score 2 goals tonight.
Ooh.
Wow.
You like red, don't you, pal?
Yep. All right, Bobby, your third and final prediction, sir.
Glass will have a game-winning goal before the season's over.
Tim, your last final prediction.
Arseny Gritsuk will be in the Devils lineup Sunday, April 13th against the Islanders.
I like it. And Tony, your third and final prediction.
Cotter scores a goal tonight.
Paul Cotter will score.
All right. Should we give Mike Ruff? You want to make a guess? What do you got for tonight?
All right, first goal or just any goal?
Any goal.
I'm going to say Daniel Sprong scores the first goal. That is an unofficial prediction, but that's what I'm going to say. So, who you guys got for first goals unofficially, just for fun?
I was gonna say if you parlay your 2 goals and a first goal, that would be a hat trick right there. If you were thinking about it.
All right, I'll do it. I'll change mine. 2 goals, first, and 1 more. So, okay, I'll do it. Why not?
That's a hard one.
So, who's your first goal scorer?
Probably setting you up for failure there.
That's all right. I mean, I was
Nico,
probably
I'm saying here.
He's probably. You're saying Nico? That's a
Yeah.
good one. All right.
I got Palat.
Ooh, Palat getting back on the board. Mike's got Glass. What do you got, Bob?
I got Luke on the power play.
Ooh, power play. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Fancy
it.
there.
So I guess it's pretty much wrapped up, right? I mean, like, I don't know what the magic number is for Montreal, but it can't be more than like 3, right? I mean, they have to be really close. I mean, there's 5 games left. The Rangers have the only team. I guess Columbus still has a shot,
I
but
think it was the Islanders that actually have a shot. I think
6
Columbus is
points
done.
back with 5 games left. Not looking good.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. I think the playoffs are pretty set,
7
guys.
points back.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been talking about for months. Like we've been on this crash course with Carolina since December. You know,
The top
it
of the
just
Atlantic is still up in the air, right?
yeah. I think they're and actually Ottawa's creeping on Florida. So part of the
Yeah.
like Ottawa's 2 points behind Florida. One of the funny
Don't you
things,
guys-
I guess,
I think
Florida,
Ottawa's going to be tough, don't you guys, in the playoffs?
yeah,
I
think so,
absolutely
too.
do, Tone.
Is Brady still hurt or is he?
Yeah.
back?
So Brady's not skating, and then it came out that Florida is putting Sam Bennett on the shelf for the rest of the year just
Yeah.
to get him playoff ready. So I don't know if he's dealing with some shit. It sounds like it.
People
mean,
are speculating that Florida is trying to tank to avoid Tampa. Which is
You know,
pretty funny.
look, you just made it to 2 Stanley Cup finals in a row. I don't think this team is afraid of anybody.
You beat
So
'em
I'm not
last year.
buying that shit at all. What?
Oh, I know.
beat
I'm
him-
not.
they
I'm
beat
not
him
either.
last
I just
year.
think it's funny that people are speculating that.
Yeah, well, you got to find a conspiracy in everything nowadays. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I really couldn't blame them because I watched that Ranger Lightning game last night and Tampa Bay's for real. And Vasilevsky's looking like Vasilevsky. I mean, as far as the Eastern Conference goes, he is, I would say, definitely the best goalie going into the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
The Lightning are always tough in the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah. They know
it's
what
one of
they're
those
doing,
teams.
man. They're well coached. They know how to win in these situations. And
Kucherov, Point, Hagel, Sorelli, like they're so good. Like Kucherov and Point. So I was meant to text you guys last night. I don't think I've ever seen Braden Point's face before. And I saw him on the bench and I was like, that is not what I thought he would look like. He looks like he should be like a 6'4" guy, but he's
Small
not.
dude.
It's a very weird face for a guy his size. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought of that. Anyway, him and
I tell you though, Hagel, I remember when they got Hagel, Tim, like that was like I like Hagel as a player. And I
Yeah.
think with Tampa, he fit in so well with that team. I think we wanted him in New Jersey actually at that time period.
yeah, well, we need a guy like him. Like Hegel's the first guy since like 1985 that has scored 30 goals without any of them being a power play goal.
Really?
Yeah, like and that just shows you how hard it is to score in this league that without the power play time.
Yeah.
Talking about Timo Meyer.
Well, all right. We're going to do a quick little break here, throw in some commercials, and we will be right back. And we're back. Okay.
All right.
I love doing that. You're crazy. All right. What the heck else did I want to go over tonight? Well, what do you guys got?
Did you see that Budweiser Zero sent a beer can, a customized beer can, to every single goalie that didn't give up a goal to Ovechkin?
No. How many did they give out? One?
They're like 28,
No.
28 goalies. They're
Vanacek's one of them.
Vanacek and
Vanacek's
Schmidt are both one
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Vanacek faced him like 5 times. I saw
Yeah.
it. He just didn't push any goals to him.
That's
It's pretty funny.
awesome.
I mean, Vanacek was also on his team, but it's pretty funny. But there's been some funny stuff like not Ed Belfour. One of those like late 90s, early 2000s goalies. So it was really good. I forget who it was. Posted a funny picture, and then Eddie Lack, who was a goalie, who was kind of a scrub, posted something else that was pretty funny. Devin Levi posted something. He was like, thanks for the beer, Ovi, appreciate it, and appreciate
Dominic
you just dumping it in 4 times on me instead. So, it's just a funny little thing, but
Sorokin was 1 goal away from that beer.
Yeah,
poor guy.
You guys
he had never scored on Sorokin.
Hasek like put a comment up, because Hasek's really against the whole
he really
war
is
going on, and he put up some stuff that was, it's totally true, but he was posting right away when that goal was scored. Dominic Hasek's like completely against the record. He had, he's.
Well, what's he saying about Ovechkin? What do you mean?
Just about he's very, very much anti-Putin, and
he
talks about the relationship between Ovechkin and Putin a lot.
And he wanted every Russian out of the NHL when this war started. Like he specifically said, we should send them all back. Like he didn't. Yeah, he's very anti-Putin.
I told you guys what was crazy was when he broke the record. Like I think it was like maybe an hour or 2 hours later. Like you looked at the news and it was like a rocket went into some apartment building and killed like 9 children and 10 adults in Russia, in Ukraine because they got bombed. And it just like, it's not Ovechkin, of course, but when you see that and you look at the TV, it's like this hard. It's like, how do you,
I'm with you. I feel
he's getting a phone call. He's getting the text message, the phone call that night.
I was wondering if Putin called Sorokin and was like, "You must let in gold tomorrow."
Possibly. He gave him a stick too. He gave him a stick.
Then he was like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "I'm going to give you your glove too." Yeah, I guess Ovi wants to start some museum in Moscow. Yeah, it's I don't know.
It's a weird situation.
Yeah, it really is. And if Ovechkin were to change his Instagram profile picture, I think that sends also a statement too. So he's kind of trapped in that as well.
And I give props to Hasek, Tim and Putin.
Yeah, absolutely. He grew up behind the Iron Curtain in
it's Ovechkin and Putin. It's his Instagram photo.
I remember there was this documentary on years ago, and it was about there's a lot of it about Slava Fetisov and how he runs the Russian like hockey leagues and all the international stuff, all their international sports programs and stuff. And this was probably, I would say maybe 10, 12 years ago. So he was bashing Ovi. And he was saying how these Russian players don't have any respect for the motherland. And they were showing Ovi had done some like stunt for a TV or some local news station or something where they put Russian dolls in each corner of the net. And he was doing the target practice, but it was with the Russian dolls. And apparently that got Putin and Slava Fetisov all in a tizzy that, you would disrespect Russia by breaking Russian dolls. He was bashing Ovi. So at that time, I thought that the relationship between Ovi and Putin maybe wasn't so great. But then later on, of course, I find that they hunt grizzly bears together and without their shirts on.
Did you guys see when they rolled out they played some hockey game there? It was like, and Putin played in the game. And they rolled out the red carpet for him, right? So they roll out this carpet and he trips over it. And supposedly the guy who rolled out the carpet, no one ever
Dead.
saw him again. And that's not, and I'm telling the truth. Like, this is
The
supposedly
goalies
the,
were
Really?
like diving out of the
He's-
crease to let him score. Like
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it
So
was
it's a
crazy.
casual 7 goals and 1 assist for him.
Yeah, fuck that
I
guy.
you know, I went to play a tournament in Czechoslovakia before the split, before the Iron Curtain came down. The team that I was on, one of the dads was like a diplomat or something like that. So we went over. This is when I was like 12, when I was actually probably about Caden's age.
Was not doing shit like that.
No, I was playing for Princeton at the time. So you can imagine the type of kids that were on my team. And it was a really cool trip. Like, we stayed in like this massive castle, but we lost every game that we went over there. You know, we lost to the Central Prague team. We lost them 24-1. And then they put like then they put their B team on, and we lost 10-2. Like, they're just so much better than us. Like, we lost every fucking game that we played. It was ridiculous. But it like the Iron Curtain fell like 2 weeks after that, and they were like, you know, we were just driving around Prague in like our team bus, and they're just soldiers like walking down the street with just, you know, it was a militarized zone. Like, there's actually no reason for an American hockey team to be there. It was a little bit of a strange environment, but it was really, really kind of interesting. So that's my Czechoslovakia story.
I've sent Chris pictures before, man. I see tanks go through here where we are now in Europe. I've seen it since I've moved here. But you'll like, you know, we have, so the gym I work out at, there's a big window where you run on the treadmill, so you can see the highway, and there's just tanks going by sometimes.
Oh, wasn't a
and you
joke. Sorry.
You know,
Seriously, Bobby, this is a fucking laugh at a really awkward time. That's
He's
fucking
laughing at Bobby
crazy.
when he's saying he goes to the gym.
Like, are you worried, man? Like, do you have like a contingency plan to potentially?
well,
get
I have
there?
another
He's
home. We have a
safer
home in
than we
Florida.
are.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not really worried because I think around these areas right now, people are pretty pumped. Like, it's kind of like there's a lot of stick together now. All these places, these little countries are saying, you know, so
That's like America.
kind of backfire.
We're all together. We're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all over
I saw. What was
Russian
you?
now.
Were you
How's your
guys talking about that
401ks
wolf?
doing, boys?
Were you guys talking about that wolf they're bringing back?
Yeah,
The dire
so
wolf.
let's
Yeah.
talk about
I
this
saw this
dire
too
wolf.
tonight. I saw
Yeah.
this on the.
Bobby, you want to take this story?
Listen, so they basically genetically created a dire wolf. They did so with the aid of a regular wolf, you know, and kind of just changed one or two.
And they used Mark Knopfler's DNA from Dire Straits, and they made the dire wolf.
Watching Weird Science, saying, okay,
You got to see this wolf, though. He doesn't use a pick, and he's awesome on the fucking guitar.
Yeah. So, I mean, just, you know, at the DNA level, they literally just changed enough of the DNA to make it essentially change from, I forget what type of wolf they used, to a dire wolf. And they're saying it is literally a dire wolf. It is as much a dire wolf as anything. They've been dead for 10 or 13,000 years. So it kind of cool, I guess, in a way, but also kind of like some things kind of go extinct possibly for a reason.
But they've made
Jurassic
six movies about why we
know.
shouldn't be doing shit like this.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So with the dire wolf, at least they were basically taking like an extremely close relative and like altering like one little thing to essentially make it, you know, look like a dire wolf. The company that did it is on record saying that by 2026, they want to produce a woolly fucking mammoth. So there are none of those cousins to kind of start from. So they're literally doing
there
Jurassic
are
Park
elephants.
shit. Is there?
Well,
okay.
Does it surprise
We'll
you
further
these
off the
days?
spectrum,
Like,
but-
Well, no, it
Damn.
doesn't surprise me. It's just crazy. And the thing about, because for about 25 years now, they've been trying to get good DNA out of those frozen mammoths that they find in like Siberia and stuff, you know. My thing is, though, like, if you're going to bring back a species, and I mean, you're going to make one, you know, woolly mammoth. Like, if you're going to bring back an entire species that has been dead for like 150,000 years now, are you just reintroducing this to where? Like, where are these? You know, these are grazing mammals that are huge, that take up a ton of resources. And what are we supposed to do now? You're going to make thousands of these and just put them on the American plains with buffalo? And like, I can't see how that can not fuck things up. Can't put them in Siberia anymore because they don't have
be wonderful,
grassland
Chris.
shit anymore. Right? I
It's
mean,
gonna be
this
wonderful.
is
It's gonna be the best woolly mammal you've ever seen in your life.
right. The most beautiful woolly
Exactly,
mammoth.
most
We're going to call them
beautiful mammoth.
woolly Trumps.
I mean,
It's gonna
Like,
be gold.
with this,
I love gold.
with this kind of achievement, I mean, wouldn't it be like way better spent at like regrowing a lung or a kidney or a liver and shit like that than a woolly
I think,
mammoth?
yes, I think that is probably the end game. Like, but I don't know why we.
But now they're
jumped
just having
to-
fun with it. It was the end game.
I don't
Like,
know
oh,
why
we're gonna die. Well,
we jumped
before we
to
move on, I
extinct,
have to do a woolly mammoth.
possibly. Yeah, I
Right.
don't know why we jumped to like extinct, potentially predatory animals. Like
Tasmanian
again, like
tigers
Give me a
and
couple
shit.
chickens. How about
the-
that?
the
Give me some
first
chickens to get some
Jurassic-
legs.
the first Jurassic
Some
Park with Chris
legs or
Pratt,
eggs.
like
Legs.
the first Jurassic Park with Chris Pratt in it, like they created an animal that didn't exist and like try and keep it in like a zoo enclosure, and it gets out, and like that's what the fuck are we doing
Wow.
here? That's
For
not
the
do that.
200,000 years that Homo sapiens have been the predominant apex predator on this planet, we have proven time and time again that we are not very smart. So yeah, I just expect whatever it is that they are planning on doing to probably go really, really bad and sideways. So it's going to be
I
fun
think
to
it's
watch.
Just kind of
The
fits.
world
If
is
they
so
could,
crazy
just
right
drop
now.
it in this year. It'll make more sense.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
drop it in now. Let's just go.
Well, think
Well,
about
until
this.
you get
Bobby.
some
It's so
tin pot-
crazy.
Yeah,
It's so crazy now. Remember, like last year, they're like, we have proof that there's aliens, and no one gave a shit. Everyone's like, yeah, we got bigger problems. Like this would be like
yeah. Well,
the
yeah,
biggest news in the world, but no one gave a fuck. They're
the
like,
aliens thing. They're like, not now. We can't.
we don't have time for you. Put
we don't
that
have
probe away.
Cool, fucking like not now. No
You
one
guys
cares.
watching this shit show?
But
This
it,
is great.
yeah, but until some like tin pot dictator, whose country is like predicated on like slavery and torture and diamonds, is like, I want 10 woolly mammoths, and the company's like, okay, and suddenly they have an army of woolly mammoths, and then they take over a fucking entire continent. And
Well, I mean, all right. I guess this is a little bit, you're like reaching with like Hannibal and the elephants going through invading Cartha, and so I guess maybe we can get some Mexicans moving up north with a bunch of woolly mammoths and a bunch of guys sitting on their backs with spears just trying to take over the U.S. Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm more
'Cause
talking
that
about
would be fun to
like some
watch.
some war torn country in Africa being like, I'm going to take
Right.
all.
Right. So instead of arms, they're dealing with extinct predatory animals to attack.
Pterodactyls
Saber-toothed
and-
tigers and fucking
It's like,
cave
yeah,
bears.
this is, we're gonna have to modify this anti-tank missile to be an anti-mammoth missile.
Ah, Jesus
Our
Christ.
kids have
I
so
don't
much to
know.
look forward to.
We're
just
living
wanna
in
go
we're
live in
living
the
in the
woods.
dumbest timeline, man.
I
Like,
just want to go live in the woods. Like that's it. Like all I look forward to in my life of like having fun is doing this, watching my Devils and watching my Vikings. Other than that, I can be in the woods and I can have those things. I'd be the happiest guy in the world. Just
Yeah.
get me out of all this craziness. Because it's gonna get so fucking bad. Anyway, year
There's
of the
gonna be
devil.
no woods left after a while, so
I'll go to
Yeah,
Canada.
what's
you
a
might want to
tree?
change your plan.
I'm going
Remember
to
trees?
Vancouver. I'm moving in with Mike. We're gonna open a pizzeria. It's gonna be
That's
awesome.
gonna be our
I've
state.
been to
and then there's
Vancouver.
gonna
It's
be no trees.
beautiful.
I'm
Vancouver's
gonna
awesome.
the 51st state. All right, year of the devil, Bob.
I do have one.
All right, explain the rules.
Okay, again, so Year of the Devil, this is the game where you only get one answer. Anyone who's listening, you just type in the chat. The guys should actually probably put in the chat too, so that we know who's actually first. You only get one
Everybody
answer. You
put it in the
decide
chat.
when to answer. You don't scream anything out. You just answer it when you want. There's 8 general questions that maybe get a little more leading as you go. And then there's 2 kind of layup questions that you should answer it by then. So the trick is just to kind of answer when you think you're ready. Maybe you don't want to get other people turned on to the time zone that you're in. And we will declare a winner at the end. Remember, there's no shouting out answers. You just get one answer. So choose your time.
Okay.
We're going to pick a season. The season will be the season's end. So the 1994-95 season is simply known as 1995. Okay.
Are we putting
First-
our answers in the YouTube chat or the chat here?
I guess the
The
chat,
chat
here. I
here.
don't know if we're all on.
Yeah, I'm not on
YouTube.
YouTube right now. So
Yeah.
chat here.
All right. Remember, it could start off a little obscure. Here we go. So in this year, the Devils finished 6th in the conference. They allowed only 164 regular season goals, which was the lowest ever by a team in an 82-game season. They started off winning 17 of their first 30 games, which helped propel them to second place in their division. But again, they did wind up 6th in the conference overall, so they had some struggles. They shut out their opponents 14 times that year, which was the league high.
14 shutouts?
14 team shutouts.
Did you guys see
Holy
my?
shit.
So I put something in the chat, but I don't know if I did the right.
We're not
one
answering
here.
it till the end. We just
Oh,
we
You
just
gotta
this
put
game
it
we
in
don't
the
stop the questions.
StreamYard
We just
chat.
put them all the way down.
That's also wrong.
that's
Tone.
what I did. Is it?
You got to
That's
put it in
okay.
the StreamYard
I'm so bad
chat.
with years. Oh, okay.
You
It's
did.
in the streamer.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did.
I didn't see it. What year?
I see it.
I don't see it. What year did you
You
put?
got to open your chat box, dude.
I have it open. I'm looking at it.
Don't yell at me.
What's the year?
He
Well, I
said
did it wrong.
2023.
So 23. Tim said I'm
2023,
completely wrong.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
bad
I
with
got it.
years, so.
You're not bad with draft years. Pull people out of your ass for that.
Something.
Okay. So the player with the 4th most penalty minutes on our team that year at 70 was actually a highly skilled center, first, second line center for our team. The penalty minutes above that were 72, 76, and 96. So this player had 70 as a skilled forward. Brodeur collected his 400th win in overtime over the Florida Panthers in March of that year. They lost to the Flyers in the first round and only won one game in that series. The leading scorers for the forward group was Eliash at 81 and Niedermeyer at 54. Now
I
the
put
two
my
easier
guess in.
ones. Okay. Who's
Am I
guessing over
wrong?
there? I'm not saying Tom did.
Okay, that's right. I put my guess in.
Okay.
So am I done with Am I eliminated?
Yeah,
already?
Yeah,
that's
you're
it.
eliminated.
Me and you
That's
can't
the thing.
guess again.
Okay.
You try to do it early to win the game, but then if you're wrong, you have no other choice.
Listen, buddy, I just read the rules wrong.
That's all right.
You
We
should
do it
listen
every
to the
week.
shows that you're not on. You know the rules. Sounds
Sorry,
a lot
my
like work, Bob.
microphone,
Scott Stevens sat out a game in January, originally with the flu, and it was later revealed that it was a concussion.
It was originally the Boogaloo flu.
I put my answer
Boogaloo
in.
flu.
All right.
And this was the last year that our beloved coach, Pat Burns, coached.
I had 99 originally, but the 400 Brodeur wins is what made me change it.
So, Timmy, have you have an answer?
He does.
I
99.
didn't put it in the right. I put it in the other chat.
Oh,
I put
you said
99.
99.
Yeah, I
Ruff
think that's
said
wrong.
05. Tony said 2023. And Uncle Pucker's Devil
I should have
Podcast.
waited for more.
Chris,
answer.
2004 is the correct answer.
Woo!
2004.
There we
I'm the
go.
man.
Very good.
I like this game. This is a fun game.
It is. I
So-
do like that game.
Guys, we got about, let's see, 20 minutes, 25 minutes till the game starts. Like, when are there? I heard Dougie possibly back for next week, which would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I guess Dumoulin would be the guy out, or are you sitting Casey? What do you think? It's
Casey or
basically.
Nemec. I think Dumoulin
You
replicates
think
that
he's there for
Siegenthaler.
Siegs? Okay.
Yeah, I think that role. Then you reunite Dougie and Dylan.
I think it's going to be
Um,
Casey.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
sucks. I mean, I really like this kid. I want to see him play more.
He'll have plenty of time. You
Yeah,
go
I
into the
know.
playoffs, you
I
want a
know.
little bit more steady there.
And who knows if Dougie will stay healthy at this freaking point? You
Right.
know, I mean, this guy
Step on the ice, throw a quad, yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the one thing that's getting extremely annoying about Dougie Hamilton is the fact that he can't stay on the freaking ice. 4 years.
But as
and-
Timmy would
3 out of
attest
3.
to, though,
3
this
out
guy
of
is
4.
not exactly not in shape.
no,
kind of
Timmy
a
loves
built
his
dude.
bod.
Yeah.
Timmy does love. Are you frozen again, Tim?
No, I'm just looking at
Oh,
my
okay.
phone. I wanted to see if Amanda had pulling
You got lines?
put up the lines yet. It'd be really
I'm
funny
sure
if
she
Sprong,
did.
if Sprong doesn't play.
Right. I'm screwed. I probably should have checked that lineup card before
we
I made that prediction. I don't think he's going to change that lineup too much over the last couple of games.
I don't think so either. In the practice lines, it didn't look like he did much. I think Foote came in for someone, and Cotter was bumped up to the third line. Maybe I forget. But
That's my goal.
That's the one thing that I like about all right, so Mike's saying it's the same exact roster as last game. That's what Keith said. So yeah. So I mean, I like because Lindy Ruff wouldn't change anything, let alone sit a guy or any. I like that Sheldon Keefe, and I know we have a lot of players, so it's easier for him to do right now, but I just like that if you're not performing, we're going to put somebody in that can. And the guys seem to be responding really, really good. I like this lineup. I like Glass and Sprong in it. I said on the last show, I don't ever want to see Nate Bastian in a Devils uniform again. I don't give a shit. I mean, let's get rid of this guy and start moving forward. Because now, Bobby, we were talking a little bit before you got on. I'm curious what your thoughts were, because I'd sent it in a text last night, but we were talking a little bit. Like, I got depressed last night watching the Lightning Ranger game, because it was like I'm thinking about all the awesome playoff moments that we're not going to have because of Jack not being in the lineup. Like, how do you feel about that? Not so much of like the team can do it or not do it without him, even though PK Subban says he doesn't think the Devils can win a Stanley Cup without Jack. I'm kind of on the same train as him. I do think they can go far, but you got to have that guy. But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, Jack is must-watch TV pretty much all the time. So yeah, it's going to be a little upsetting, to have him not be part of it. But at the same time, I mean, we're going to the playoffs, and if they just start winning, we're all going to get on that train, and it's going to be the best thing ever. But I would also say that, I mean, at some point, there's probably going to be an end to this, short of a Stanley Cup. And not that Jack specifically would be the one to kind of make us win the Stanley Cup, but when you add that kind of caliber of player into the mix and everything he can bring, it certainly helps us. So
right.
I would not envision that we win the cup this year. And it's not because we don't have Jack. I honestly just don't think this is the team that gets, through the Final Four. But hopefully they surprise me. But yeah, I'm definitely going to miss Jack, dude. In the playoff time, I thought he was super electric, a couple of years ago. So,
well, I mean, so right now Toronto is first in the Atlantic, right? Am I wrong about that? I see Tim looking. That's why I was asking him, because I thought he had it.
Toronto, yes.
Toronto. Okay, so we know that right now at the playoffs start, and again, we're going to go over this really in depth, but just to like close up right now. All right, so right now would be Ottawa taking on Toronto. Yep. I got Ottawa winning that series. What about you guys?
Ottawa 7, I would think. I mean, it'd be a good series, I think. But I just think Ottawa is going to be annoying, like one of those teams that there's always that one team that you go in the playoffs that makes that move that you don't expect. And I think Ottawa could be that team this year.
If Brady's healthy.
I think a lot of it hinges on Brady, on whether he's healthy.
I agree. I'm saying that I think they win if Brady's in the lineup. That will change if we, if he's not.
If Toronto loses in the first round again, that's just that city is gonna burn to the fucking ground.
Well, who do you got? Ottawa or Toronto?
I Toronto if Brady's not playing. Ottawa if Brady's playing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But Toronto's a very good team, and they're different than they have been. Like they were really predicated on their big offensive players, and their defense was absolute trash. Now they have a pretty good D core, with the addition of Tanev and
Solars has been fantastic this year.
Fantastic, and Wall's been a good fill-in as well. I just think they're a tough team. I didn't realize it, but they're 8-1-1 in their last 10 as well.
Yeah.
Which is
how about you, Bob?
I mean, last year I finally knew that they would get past a round. A little more difficult this year, but as of right now, and this isn't our actual prediction, so it's just my gut right now still says Toronto.
Okay.
Regardless, to be honest.
All right.
If Brady's back, because Brady comes back now, he's not back today. When are they going to come back in a couple of days? Like, what Brady are you going to get? And not that he's not going to be the best. He's got elements of his game that can translate without the skill part for sure. But in reality, if you're not getting the full package of Brady, what are you getting? So right now,
what's weird though? The Chucks, I don't know, something about those guys. I think if they get him back, I think he'll come back full force. I just think it's in their blood. I've
very
watched,
possible.
I mean, I really do.
All right, Montreal will be playing Washington. Personally, I think Washington would probably win that series, but I think it goes 7. I think Montreal can give them all that they can deal with. And if they go into that series thinking, oh, we're playing the lowly Habs, they're going to lose. Curious now what we're going to see from Washington, right? Like they were pushing really hard for the record and all that stuff. And they haven't been playing great, but
They've been playing
now
good.
that it's like over and no stress and they can kind of just they turn it around and get back to like what we saw earlier in the year, or is this team kind of showing its warts at the worst possible time? Again, we can talk about that down the road. I still think Washington can probably beat the Habs, but I think it'll take 7. What do you guys think, Tone?
I'm going to say, I want to say 5, and I'm going to say 6 because I think that, like you said, they've been playing poor lately.
Yeah.
I think, but obviously with Ovechkin, I think they take them, and I'm going to say 6.
Okay. Tim?
I think Montreal wins.
Well, I like that.
So all season, Washington has been riding a borderline unsustainable team shooting percentage, and they've actually haven't been very good defensively. They've just been scoring pretty opportunistically. Protus just got hurt, and he's a huge piece of that team. I think now that actually the record's over, I think they're going to kind of not collapse a little bit, but come crashing back down to earth. And I think we've seen some of those cracks already. Logan Thompson also got hurt too. Like, I don't know if he's what his story is, but Protus was listed as week to week, which is never good. Day to day is about a week to week is about a month to month is you're dead.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
And I just think Montreal's, if they're getting Demidov now, Hudson, like, honestly, that kid is so nasty. Like, I hate to say it, like, he might be as good or better than Luke. Like, he's so fucking good. And I hate to say it.
What kind of
like
podcast you on, Dick?
I can see where you're coming from, though, and I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just when we do our predictions in a couple of weeks, I might change that because I've been kind of up in the air, but just because of how Washington's been dominant all year, I am going to kind of stick with them. What about you, Bobby?
I mean, I make no secret that I think Washington played above their head most of the year. In fact, I think I was the one who had them falling the furthest going into this year. Like, at best, they should be where Montreal.
I had them last place in the Metro.
Right.
Last place in the Metro is what I thought this team was going to do.
Right. So even if they were playing over their head to the tune of being equal to Montreal at this point, I'm feeling the edge has to go to the Capitals for me. Just, I mean, for as much as they played this year, collecting the points and just winning games, I got to feel that they can do that against the 8th seed team.
All right. And then we have the Battle of America's Wang, Tampa Bay Lightning versus Florida Panthers. What do you think, Tone?
Tampa. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say Tampa. I'm going to say 7.
Okay. Timmy?
That's going to be a bloodbath. I'm with Tony on that. I think Tampa wins in 7. They've been so nasty recently. Florida's riddled with injuries. I don't think Makachuk's back yet. Marchand, I think, has kind of been going to be a bit of a dud of a trade deadline acquisition. Like you said, they just put Bennett on the shelf. Verhaeghe's underperforming. Vasilevsky's back on his game. I don't see. Tampa's just been so good, like the past month or two. Like, they were, if you remember, like, we had a better record than Tampa like 3 months ago by a lot.
Yeah.
And they, over the past 2-3 months, they've vaulted up into second place. So
I think John Cooper is the best coach in the NHL. Like, I
think he's right there.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched him when I was in Tampa and Stam. I've seen him coach a lot, and I've met the guy several times, and I just think, I don't know, something about that guy, man. I think he's probably the best coach in the NHL.
I agree. Bob, Florida, Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa's another team that I keep perpetually kind of saying this is their year to fall off a little bit, and I keep being wrong. I didn't even pick them to win a first round in the last year or two, I don't think, and I'm changing all that this year. I think that they're going to win. I think they're going to do it more like 5 or 6, to be honest with you. And I think, for Florida, it's not that they're bad. It's just that kind of 2-cup run thing, a little tired. Even though I don't believe in the tired after all that time. But yeah, I just think Tampa Bay's got their number this year. So
I think Florida's kind of. I mean, I know how good they are, but Tampa's just a different animal.
It doesn't feel like the Magic's there right now.
Yeah, and Tampa seems like they have that. Like
Yeah.
Tampa does seem like they're on something hot, and they're going to be a really, really tough out. I mean, just watching them, I know they were playing the Rangers last night, and the Rangers blow, but man, they just zip the puck around. Like anything that they want to do, they were able to do, and it's just, man, they're a handful, and they have so many great skilled guys on that team. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I do want to talk on the next show. I wanted to go over it. We're going to do a whole most disappointing teams and kind of rank those really shitty teams. Now you brought Stamkos up. Nashville will definitely be in there. So I'm going to take Tampa too. And then, of course, the last one, Devils going up to Carolina. Do you guys want to give a prediction on that now, or just a quick one, or do we save it?
Save it. Devils in 2.
Devils in 2. All right, so that means
so the NHL, the website. I think we should do this with all of our listeners and stuff. We'll set up a Uncle Pucker's bracket and let everybody join, and you make predictions. I think it's the NHL.com website is a pretty easy system where you can set up that bracket and make like a private group and stuff like that. So
let's definitely do it, because that's going to be a lot of fun. And we got about 20 minutes until puck drops. Devils will get 4 in a row tonight against the lowly Boston Bruins. I actually have
jot it down.
Very little doubt. I mean, I feel good. I feel good at where this team's at right now, and I'm saying, yeah, they're going to go in there and just take care of business.
It's always the roughest thing doing the shows right before the game, isn't it? Because the next morning we look like,
I mean, if
we don't have to air it.
The Bruins are well, we're live right now, so it's out there.
Yeah, it's just a couple guys.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. But I just think you're playing the last place Bruins. Like, I get it. The Bruins have given up. Like, that's the thing. Like, if we lose tonight, I mean, I've watched some of these Bruins games. I know that they whooped up on Carolina the other night, but like the next game, I think they lost like whatever it was, some big loss. And it's like, they just don't give a shit anymore.
I feel like that's like a dead cat bounce in the stock market. Like,
right. Exactly.
I just want like killer instinct from here on out. I still don't think they're going to do the 9-1 that you said, Chris. I think they're going to be a loss in there, but maybe that's it. Maybe one more loss. That's how I got it. They got it. You want to tune up for the playoffs. The best way to tune up for the playoffs, just keep winning.
Yeah.
Go in there, keep winning.
And, let everybody, and that's the thing too, like everybody else is fighting for positioning or anything like that. Like us and the Canes have a really good situation right now because there's no mystery to where we're going. It's no mystery to where we're going to land. So you can just focus on playing your style of hockey, honing in your game, getting it to the best it can be for game 83. I think 9-1 is absolutely possible.
It's possible for sure. I just feel like something's going to happen. But listen, if they get 5 more wins, you were talking about a 99-point season. It's practically a 100-point season for all the like shit and angst that we had in the middle there.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, we started well, took a vacation for a couple months, and came back hot. Like I said before, Bob, you missed it, but like the math I did was
I wanted to see the math.
Between the top 4 forwards, Timo, Jack, Nico, Bratt. Before Jack got hurt, they were combining for 1.4 goals a game. Since Jack got hurt, Nico, Timo, and Bratt have been combining for 1.4 goals a game. So they have recreated Jack in the aggregate.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Also, and Luke is averaging 1.1 points per game. Luke and Dougie, before Dougie got hurt, were averaging 1.1 points per game. So we've replaced Dougie and Jack with everybody. Would be nice to have them back and add that production onto things. But
yes.
I think 9-1 would be possible if it wasn't. So if they get the point tonight, right, and we know our position, we know we're going to play Carolina. That's the reason I think 9-1 might not happen. I think they might start putting some, you might not get all the starters playing and stuff like that, because I think we're pretty much playing Carolina. It's the deal, right? I mean, so if we win tonight.
No, he never said that. I don't think you can ever get him to not beat off anymore, Jay.
By the way, go to Jurgens.com, code name.
So, but this will show us.
Hashtag Timmy.
Puckers.
Like we keep saying how over the last 2 weeks, right? Other than that Winnipeg game, like they do seem like they kind of turned that corner and they're playing much better hockey and the guys are all stepping up. Like, okay, this is your next chance to get 4 in a row. You haven't done it in 2 years. Show us all that this team is really taking that next step, that they've kind of figured it out. That's what I want to see. So we know what we're going to get come playoff time. They got to get back to the consistency, and the best way to do it is just keep winning. So we'll see.
I want to see 3 good periods. I want to see if they're winning after 2. I want to see them keep the gas pedal down after 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, that's it. Me and my bottle of
Pamela
Jergens.
Henderson.
We're gonna go Pamela Henderson on myself.
That's fucking great. All right. We're going to wrap this thing up. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us again tonight. It's always fun. Let's go enjoy some Devils whooping up on the lowly bees. Wherever you're listening to us, a 5-star review, positive comment, subscription, download helps a little podcast that could. And if you are watching on the YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe and whatever else buttons there are to press. We're the Uncle Puckers, and we'll see you when we see you.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Fuck you, Brenda Moore.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!